I'm like a creative person who wants to actually create. I don't want to press a button and have it create for me. So hello and welcome to the vlog. Now if you read the title you might be wondering, well, what is all that about? We're going to get into it, we're going to explain it. First of all, I want to give you a little bit of context, and to do that we're going to stand up and look around the room. So this is the studio. It is, I think I'm correct in saying, a 4 metre by 4.5 metre square room. When we do live sessions in here, like you saw for the vlog we did about recording kids songs, like we've not got heaps and heaps of space to put people in. Maybe on this lens on the GoPro it kind of looks quite spacious, but you know, I can walk 1, 2, 3 paces from where I would sit as a drummer, and this is where Rowan was as a bass player. 1, 2, 3, this is where Arzo was as a guitarist, and then 1, 2, 3, and this is where Eldina was standing when she was singing. It works, but what it means is we end up with a challenge if we want to use everything that we've recorded. The drums, you can hear a tiny little bit of vocals in the mics, but nothing that's going to upset the mixing. The bass is going direct in, so no problems there. Acoustic guitar for that was going direct in, so no problems there. But the vocals, you end up with something like this. I'm just going to solo it up. It's Arzo's vocal. Let's turn that up. You can hear that there is a hefty helping of drums in that vocal. So that creates a couple of problems. One of them is that that vocal isn't clean. There's certain ways then that we can't process it, which really leads on to the main problem, which is you don't have enough control over the sound of the drums because you've got that spill going into the other vocal mics. So I don't know for 100% that we want to use those live vocals that we recorded when we did the tracking session for the kids album, but what I do know is I want to have the option to use them if in the end we go, yeah, no, it was a good performance. So as I was going through the songs, tidying them up over the last week or so, I've been thinking, how can we get a cleaner vocal sound? How can we not have all that drum spill in the vocal mics? Suddenly I remembered there is an update on the program I use, and if you're interested, which you're probably not, but it's called Logic Pro X, and they did an update to version 11 and it had a bunch of AI tools in, and that was quite controversial with the user community, like who even needs this? And one tool was called a stem splitter, and let's demonstrate what that does. So this is a track from Lev Shemer called Svesi Medal, and it was popular at camp. Anyway, that's what that sounds like. You can hear that there's vocal, there's drums, there's acoustic guitars, there's bass guitars. Now, if we right click like this, there is something here. You can see that's come up, stem splitter. From that track, I can split it into vocals, drums, bass, and other, which hopefully will be the guitar. Let's see what happens. This should be the vocal. Drums. It's not particularly loving the bass sound, but so you might be asking yourself, what kind of magic is that? Do we agree with it? I don't know if we agree with it, but the Beatles have done it, so what can you say? One of the things that's important for me in the studio is to be really pragmatic about what I do and not to get overly philosophical and not to get overly kind of purist about going, oh, it must be done this way. Like, if it works, it works. If it sounds good, it is good. That's got to be the guiding thing, because we're trying to do something on a budget that is like this big and just make stuff work and make stuff possible. So when I suddenly remembered, oh, there's that stem splitter thing and I've not tried it. So yesterday I gave it a go. I'll play you one more time. This is Arzo's vocal, just his vocal mic. This is it. Run through the stem splitter, just asking it to split vocals from drums. That is his vocal. It's not 100% perfect, but it's pretty good. And I think the slight imperfections that I can hear in it we're never going to hear in the mix. I've done exactly the same thing on Eldina's vocal as well. And so what that means is I now have a much cleaner track to be working with, and the option to go, yes, we can use these vocals that we recorded live, or yes, we can decide at a later date that we want to come in and overdub the vocals again. But that then becomes our artistic choice, not a choice driven by the fact that when we recorded in the room, there was too much spill into the microphone. So this is the 2 bits of vocal without the drums. And then if we put the whole track in, we can hear the thing that's important to me here is as we transition from the end of the introduction into the beginning of the verse, there's no appreciable difference in the sound of the drum. There is no difference in the sound of the drums now because there is no drums in the vocals that you're hearing. And that has solved a problem. So where do I stand on AI? Who knows what's going on in there, what it's really done to all that audio. But all I know is that it's given me a result. So I guess a little bit of an apology for those of you who are watching out there who are not massive fans of vlogs from the studio and don't desperately want to know the ins and outs of music production. But yeah, it's been a big thing this week. It feels like a big moment of success that's helping me think about how can we work smarter, work faster, be more efficient, do more stuff, and really deliver more opportunities through the space that I have here. So that's why we've done it. It's also a good thing about like just not thinking yourself into a corner, keeping an open mind, stuff that you might be prejudiced against. If I'm honest, always when I hear the words AI, I'm prejudiced against it. I'm prejudiced against it when I see AI art sort of pop up on social media, when I see AI video stuff. Yeah, that's just me. I'm like a creative person who wants to actually create. I don't want to press a button and have it create for me. AI can help in some instances, and this is one of them. And so for that, I'm grateful, and I'm grateful that I'm not too prejudiced that I couldn't see past, my own objections. So that is it for this week's video. Thanks very much for watching. Do give us a big thumbs up for letting AI help out. Do leave a comment or a question if you want to know more, and do remember that together we do adventure. I'll see you next time.